So we're back online, we're back on stage. I have Simon next to me, our CEO, and I hope you enjoyed the session so far that we saw.
Yes, I did. Thanks for having me.
Perfect. So let's talk about it. Simon, tell us a little bit about how did the idea of Creatize start? That you just founded the time together with Daniel in 2016. What inspired you, and what was missing in the market that you got the idea to start Creatize?
Yeah, I think that's a cool question. My background is business and economics, so I'm not very into. I was not very into manufacturing, but then at one point when I studied at the Zeppelin University, my mother called and said, "Hey, your company, our company that was founded by my grandfather, is in some trouble. Can you please come to Tübingen and help us?" And so I basically visited this company and saw what they're doing. This is a steel casting company that is producing mechanical components for automotive, aerospace, medical industry. And I immediately fell in love with manufacturing, because I think it's such a great process to bring an idea from an engineer into life and actually move things from A to B, either by plane or car or something. So I took over the company together with my mother, and I realized quickly that this market is huge. It's like there are hundreds of thousands of contract manufacturers producing parts. And then on the other side, there are a lot of big customers that need parts. And the problem is, or was at the time and still is, how do you match timely the demand and supply side of this market in order to make better, faster, and cheaper products? And until this day, at least in Germany or in Europe, as a contract manufacturer, you still need a fax machine, right? And I thought back then, hey, this cannot be the case. We need to have a better solution, a smarter solution that gets rid of all the inefficiencies in the market, really takes advantage of all the great contract manufacturers in the world, and enables customers to produce parts with a click of a button.
Great. Yeah, now you can see the passion, and you still have this passion today. So it's always some origin in your history and your part of your life that brings you to forward. And if you live that passion, that's where success goes. So thank you for the introduction. Let's go on. We see right now a very big shift in the manufacturing world, yeah? And of course, Creatize is in the middle of it, right? We are part of this transition. And we're seeing that a lot of change happening in the hardware industry. What chance do you see for the cloud manufacturing? The cloud manufacturing will help in the industry, in particular the machine construction companies, or the so-called Maschinenbau that we call them in Germany?
Yeah, I think we are going through very interesting times, right? The last 2 years were extremely interesting, with all the lockdowns, with the different tariffs all around the globe, with really big supply chain and logistic problems, with hopefully more and more environmentally regulations that reduce carbon or CO2 emissions from manufacturing all across the globe. So there are a lot of challenges that our customers face. And this is, on the one side, basically the supply chain and manufacturing. And on the other side, every hardware product is essentially software with hardware. So a lot of the Maschinenbau companies, the mechanical engineering companies in Europe, they suddenly need to learn how to develop a digital product and then combine it with hardware. So hardware is hard enough, and then you add software on top, and then like it's a whole different level, right? So a lot of our customers are now really transforming, as we have seen with Porsche, transforming into a digital company that puts the software at the core of the company. What does this mean? This means they don't have as many management resources. They don't have as many financial resources to put into supply chain and into manufacturing. And this is where we come in there. Cloud manufacturing comes in there and says, look, okay, that you focus on software, and we help you, yeah, to defocus on supply chain and manufacturing, because we think in the end, software and combining this with hardware and really becoming a product-driven company, this is how you will be successful in the future. And this is why I'm also very passionate about it, because I really think that we help our customers to be successful in the future.
Yeah, and we have this reaction from our customers. They love us for that, and that's perfect. We really hit that. Simon, we all know that you're a big fan of Herbert Diess. Herbert Diess, the chairman of Volkswagen. And you have great respect for the transportation that he's pushing for Volkswagen. The particular thing that you think, well, why is he such a strong leader? Why do you respect him so much?
Yeah, like I'm really happy to follow him on all the social media. So I don't know him personally. I hope one day I can meet him. And what I really respect about him is that he first of all acknowledged reality, meaning he openly says the new benchmark is Tesla, right? Why? Because it's electromobility, and they put software at the core of the company, making the product better every day with artificial intelligence, over-the-air updates, etc. So Herbert Diess was the first one that acknowledged this, and then not only acknowledged this, but really transformed Volkswagen from a very procurement and production-driven company into essentially now a product and software-driven company. And you see this all across the Volkswagen. And the first edition or the first product or the first results of this thing is the ID.3. And I had the chance to drive it for a couple of months.
You love it, I know.
I love it, right?
Exactly.
I think it's kind of like the Beetle back then. Yeah, it's very it's quite cheap. It has same spec the Tesla 3, so in terms of charging and range, and it also has a lot of software-enabled things with over-the-air updates, etc. So I think it really is a good competition against Tesla in the mass market, and to see this transformation within a couple of years. It's impressive, I think. You like one of the biggest companies in manufacturing, Volkswagen, with lots of different challenges, from government speaking about different things, different countries want to push electromobility, the other one fuels and hydrogen, etc., etc. And he really had a clear mind and sticks to his mission and to basically push forward electromobility and says this will be the future. And not only that, I think also in terms of what he's doing, how he communicates his goals to meet the 1.5 degree climate change target, etc., to really push also the politics to have to bring clear boundaries so that he can manage within these boundaries.
Yeah, I mean, he posted those 10 conditions that he would like to have in the coalition negotiations that are happening right now or starting to happen. And they're quite tough. I mean, he has the right expectation on the fuel price, on the CO2 price, the carbon price, and so on. And you would not expect it from a car manufacturer.
Exactly.
But as you said, he's in different environment. He's a manufacturer. He's the car environment. His cars are being sold in different legislature areas, and you have to work in this area. And the most important thing, as you mentioned, face reality. Face reality and do it. Very good. So, Simon, last question. Cloud manufacturing, a big name. We are full in there. The industry is going in this direction. Where do you see it in 5 years? What effect will it have on product design, on the manufacturing as a whole? What are we going to see in 5 years' time where we're going?
Yeah, 5 years, it's a long time when you consider what we can achieve within 1 year. Cloud manufacturing will really enable hardware companies of all sizes to produce the best, most cost-competitive products in the world. Without any knowledge of procurement and manufacturing itself. So what we will see is that all the hardware companies essentially will be engineering, sales, and software companies, and the rest will be outsourced, right? Even maybe assembly, so that they really don't touch the final product and just ship it out, right? So this is what we will see on the one side, and cloud manufacturing will have a big role in this transformation. And on the other side, and this is what I'm really excited about, is cloud manufacturing will bring all the data and knowledge from manufacturing across the whole supply chain to the engineer. So we really enable every engineer to learn from the mistakes and the know-how of everybody else in the world. So we're thinking about, the economies of scale, what you have in terms of how to produce products, so that all hardware companies essentially share the same economies of scale and make better products, more sustainable products, and also way cheaper. And I truly believe that we need this new generation of hardware companies that are then possible because of lower barriers of entry, etc. We need this new hardware generation to solve the biggest problems of our times, right? We have food, we have climate change, we have new mobility. All of that is really in need for companies that solve these different topics, and all of it requires hardware. And I'm really excited to see this unfolding in the next 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, the democratizing of engineering, democratizing of manufacturing, it brings the barrier of entries down. It makes it much more powerful in everything. And thank you very much. I mean, these answers you always give us, you're full of passion. That's why you're also our CEO. We're all proud to work with you. Thank you, Simon.
Thank you for having me. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.